Alright, gonna wait another minute here and then start going over things. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with Bitcoin here. So, last Sunday we were talking about going up to test 106K for that 3-day HSI dot. And we did just that. So, we got our 106K here. And we had our reaction. HSI is over 50 at the moment, and our RSI is also over 50. So at this point, we're not expecting any lower lows here. We're not expecting to go much lower than this. You know, maybe there's potential to go down to the 97K range for now, but it's looking like the buys are coming in. We dipped under 100K momentarily. You can go back to the 15-minute here, and this shark pattern finally got fulfilled, and also the shark pattern beforehand printed that it wants to go to its T2 target back to 105.5, and then after that we got our confirmation dot and arrow with a ton of volume and a W shape on our RSI and our HSI. So hopefully we can get some sort of confirmation here and then head back up to the 105, 106K range. I think this was just a bunch of inauguration bullcrap for right now. Still expecting upwards, not expecting 77K. Still holding on to my longs from lower down. That 100K is a pretty major psychological level that I don't think market participants are ready to fully break yet. We fully buried the indicators on the 15-minute. On the hour, we're at 15 for RSI, and we've already recaptured 50% of the hourly candle. We're going to be closing that in 5 minutes, as well as the daily. We'll go ahead and take a peek at that daily candle real quick. Honestly, the daily is like, it's not looking fantastic right now. You have a reaction off of that all-time high. You got a bit of an evening star going on. You got a little bit of divergence going on with your indicators. However, still not expecting anything lower than really like the 97K range for right now. Expecting a higher low here until proven otherwise. We need more data to confirm that we're actually going down a long ways. I'm looking for the RSI to bounce off the 50 level, which it wouldn't take too much more for amplified RSI to get down to the 50. And just going back to the 3-day here to discuss this harmonic pattern, this crab pattern here. So normally by now, you would want to see some sort of reaction to the downside. You usually want to give these things a 30-bar rule, and if they're not doing something by 15-20 bars, it's considered a pause. Normally you see these things go at a pretty severe rate when they do actually play out. When the RSI and the HSI agree with each other along with the pattern, you start getting the confluence to get these kind of moves, but it just never happened with this one. So ultimately it's bullish continuation after consolidation. All right, let's go to the weekly. Sunday, we're still in this lower half of the channel that we were talking about last week. This is a very major channel going back all the way to 2017. We've been in it for 8 years now, and we have tapped the heart line of the channel twice now on the weekly. One can argue that we're so-called pounding on the saline here, trying to break that resistance. We have a W formation on our RSI, and it looks like our HSI is trying to point upwards as well. We are closing bullish engulfing on the weekly. It would be great if we can get some follow through above the heart line. Above this heart line is a ton of empty space. There's the only really target you have left is that macro cup and handle target up at 120, 125K, depending on where you want to measure it. There's some arguments there between some people, but we'll just call it 122.5 for argument's sake. That's our target for now still. Not expecting anything else until proven otherwise. Let's go on over to Trump coin. Everybody's been watching this one. This one, it kind of scares me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Our presidential team is willing to, you have to expect that the guy holding 80% of the supply, and then all of his family members and all the inside traders and whoever he wants in on it is buying this $1 to $2 range, all of November and December and early January. And then all of a sudden you have this massive scam liquidation wick, from 330 down to 150. You lost 50% of your value in literally minutes. And then it went up 5,000%. Let's see exactly what that is. Okay, 4,883%. So not quite 5,000, but still just absolutely ridiculous. You invest $1 million in that, and then you 50x your money. Boom, just like that. What a move. A little bit of warning with this one though. There's no value here to actually jump in. Yeah, it could just keep continuing. It could just go crazy. But let's just pretend for a second that it topped out at 76. let's just pretend. So what are we looking at here on the daily? We're going to go down to the 4 hour just to see if we can make a little bit more sense on this. But on Mexi, like, it had a jump here from $2.59 to $25.50, literally instantaneously. And just, how are you supposed to trade this right now with a gap that's larger than the asset has ever traded before in its history? You know, all you have on the 4 hour is this impulse and then a massive dark cloud cover, bearish engulfing, huge volume, indicators pointing straight down. You know, you look at your fibs, oh, what if we do a casual 618 retrace? That's $6.92. Guess what? You're going to get wrecked if you're still in this, and it does just a natural retrace. Just saying, not a smart investment at the moment. It's straight up gambling. Flip a coin. You know, maybe you see some sort of, you know, W shape on the 618. You see your indicators start to trend upwards. You know that. You know, maybe then you can argue for a long. Not now. Not when it's up. Still 4,000% from its lows. If you were part of the Discord, though, I was talking about it in November. So back in this area here. If you traded it on spot, you'd be up about 45x right now. So join the Discord, gain access to our trade setups, figure out where to find value in assets. Another one, speaking of value, one that I've been trying to pick up lately is SRM. I posted about this one in the Discord the other day too. Again, join the Discord. You would have seen me posting about SRM. You would have been able to ride that 60% wave up, and you would have been able to get right back in at the entrance of the trade setup. So yeah, if you want to double your money in a day, join the Discord. Not even mine. Posted about it. It's right there. Another one, value that I'm looking at, UX Link. I don't even know what this coin is. I don't really care, but the chart is showing me value. I first heard about this thing up at $3 when somebody was telling me that it was going to $10, and they just went like 40x long, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of my cue to short, right? You know, you start hearing about that kind of stuff, and the euphoria is just unrealistic. You know, you got to do something. You have to trade against it. That's the only like psychological sane thing to do there. You know, it is a dump stream, right? So we got to go officially with the red light. There we go. Yep, we're dumping. Yeah, BTC back at 100K. We closed that weekly candle, bullish engulfing. We closed the daily candle, bearish engulfing, with an overbought arrow. So a little bit of divergence on the HSI, a little bit of divergence on the RSI. But as long as we stay above the 50 levels, like I'm saying, that's all that matters. As long as market participants are still showing strength, it doesn't matter if we have a little bit of a pullback. I'll say it again just to cement it in. I'm thinking no lower than 97K right now. Until proven otherwise. You know, I could be wrong. But prove me wrong first. Let's see some data. I hate seeing people that are new in the market. They start watching these YouTube videos, and all of a sudden these people are telling, buy this scam coin, and invest in this bullshit community asset, and then all of a sudden, bam, they're down 60%, bam, down 80%. Or sometimes worse, they go in leverage, they don't set a stop loss, and they literally liquidate themselves almost immediately sometimes. And I hate seeing that. That's why I made this Discord, is so I can help people not do that. So I can help people find value in actual circumstances where you're not buying the top, where you're not being the bag holder, where you don't have to ride the thing through 2 years of bear market to get back into profits. I hate the drawdown, so I learned how to not deal with it, and that's what I am going to be teaching. So, yeah, let's do a few other assets. I know somebody wanted to look at ADA. So here's the thing. ADA's a little bit tough right now. It is still up 205%, since October. However, the consolidation is strong here. You had that crazy wick down, but it never even got to the hop level of this harmonic period. It never got to the crab pattern hop level. We never retested the terminal bar. Those are bullish moves. Those are bullish moves right there. So you got your oversold confirmation there, and look what your market participants did. They defended, and yeah, it broke below, but these false breakdowns and false breakups have more severe consequences than a traditional retest. So as you can see, it looks like sellers were about to just take this thing, back down to 78 or 71 or whatever. If you were to get rid of all of these candle closes right here and just focus on this one for that day on New Year's Eve, it was looking kind of bad. It was looking like the market was about to dump. But then buyers recapture the support level and they run it, and they get to the resistance, right there. That's a massive bull trap, and then boom, back down. Like this has been a swing trader's haven right now, ADA. I really think this is going places though. Obviously you have a pretty tight pennant situation going on here. Looks like you're finding support at that demand line there. If I had to guess, only one more test either way before we have a decision where this breaks out. I'm looking at ADA probably back at all-time highs eventually here during the spring. I would not be surprised. On the weekly, we have a good-looking bat pattern going, and also that is a really wonky looking structure right there, but it's kind of like reminiscent of a morning star. And then we have our confirmation candles because we never took out that bullish engulfing candle. But let's get this harmonic and let's get a pause here, and then let's continue on to your deeper market retraces of your 786, your 886. Let's get to that 180, 230 range on ADA. I think we're definitely going to go there, no problem. Especially since it's a U.S. made coin. If you guys haven't heard, Trump is planning on giving some tax breaks to U.S. based coins. No capital gains tax in some cases. That's hearsay for now. I'm no tax expert, definitely not tax advice, but I'm definitely going to be looking into it when the time comes. I expect good things at ADA. We don't want to see 71 cents breached. If you see 71 breached, you're probably heading to 45. I know it's a big gap, but it's crypto, and even at 44, 45 cents, that's still a massively higher low, and it would still be a bullish continuation. So, hopefully we don't get wrecked, but eventually, $2. Yep, absolutely. I'm going to take a peek in the Discord here, see if anybody's requesting anything. No requests. Let's go to Ape. Ape is one of my favorites on the weekly right now. I think this has some really major potential. kind of has this this inverse head and shoulders shape going on right now. But as we all know, head and shoulders patterns are not confirmed until you break that neckline there, or that shoulder line. So until it actually cuts through that line, it's not an inverse head and shoulders. So let's see it bust through a $148, which honestly shouldn't be hard. I mean, the all-time high on this thing was $26. I don't think it'll go all the way back there, but I do think we could see like $2.70. You know, let's get a quick 3x out of our money. ApeCoin under $1. I'm saying I'm buying it. Non-financial advice, but ApeCoin under $1 is good for me. I'll take it. Let's look at Coinbase. Let's go to Coinbase here to clean this up a little bit. Playing around with this chart earlier. If you've been following the Discord, you know, back in October, November, we could see that like the start of the bull market was kind of coming because of the structures that these exchanges were having. You know, you start seeing these exchanges have really big momentum shifting structures over the course of a year, and all of a sudden the exchanges start running, and then all of a sudden crypto starts running. It's kind of funny how that works. And, you know, big inverse head and shoulders pattern, again, not confirmed until you break that line, right? But then look what happens. Boom, straight to target, you know. We are looking at a pause. I was really hoping for a target one, you know, get to a target one. Let's draw that 45-degree angle here. So normally when you break that trend line, it's probably not going to go to target one. And honestly, that's what I was looking for, to pick up some more. If I don't, oh well. That's the thing. You can't have emotional attachment to these trades. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Ultimately, these markets are the transfer of money from the impatient to the patient. So I try to educate people to be patient. That's honestly the biggest thing in the market. So don't be afraid to wait for your entries. And actually, if you're listening, I want to give you guys some homework. I want you, for the next trade that you do, instead of putting your buy where you would normally put it, put your buy where you would have put your stop loss, and then see if it hits, and then get back to me. I think you guys are going to be really surprised about how many amazing entries you get. Just saying. Let's look at XRP, XLM, you know, those good ones. XRP on the weekly is just a monster. What an asset. Yeah, you know what's funny is we were making fun of this for like 2 years straight in the Discord, because we were like, oh cool, XRP is 55 cents today. That was the same price it was 6 years ago. But then look what happened. You know, artificially oppressed by Gary Gensler for so long, and then look what happens when it finally gets to squeeze out, and all those shorts that stacked up, you know, at that 70 cents level for years and years and years just got obliterated, gone. Here's what's good on the weekly though. Your HSI came down, tested the 50 level, and we're springing back off of it. We did get an overbought signal, but we already broke out of that. So the technical resistance would have been at the top of that candle body that it printed at. So not only did we break it, but we back tested it with that wick, and then we're gone already. We are gone already. Let's look at the daily. So, one could argue, hey, we might have a double top situation here. It kind of does look like that. You have your higher high, you have less volume, your indicator here, your HSI made a higher high, but your RSI made a lower high. So you have divergence on one indicator. But here's the thing about these bearish patterns at the top of bullish trends. I'll explain this a little bit more for you. So honestly, these harmonic patterns, they're up to interpretation. Just because one prints bearish or bullish does not guarantee that it's going to have an up or down reaction. You have to interpret the results directly. A lot of the times when you have aggressive bull market cycles and then you see these bearish harmonic patterns, you want to see a target one get hit and then some sort of double bottom situation at target one. So XRP, I'm looking for some sort of double bottom situation at $2.84. Maybe with some divergence. Give me an arrow, give me a dot, give me some confirmation. Keep my indicators above the 50 level. So because HSI is still pointing down like that, it tells me it still has some work. We still got some work. It's kind of like catching a falling knife right now, to give the expression. XLM, if you're not in much lower, don't touch it yet. So this blue line right here is the macro 786 fib from way back. I'll zoom out a little bit here. Way back, so from the 2021 high to the 2022, December 27 low. Your 886 level was 65 cents, and we just so happened to tap that 886 on Thanksgiving. It's kind of fun showing that off to the family. I was like, hey, look, I bought this at 8 cents and now it's worth 65 cents or 60 cents or whatever, I don't know about you guys, but the last few holidays I've had, like over the last 2021, 2022, especially 2023, trying to explain to my family and my friends what crypto is and getting into it and how to trade it, and everybody was just looking at me sideways. And now I have all these people asking me, should I buy now? What should I be trading? How do I buy? What's Fartcoin? Should I buy Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu? I just got $50,000 worth of inheritance from a family member, and now I, want to invest in crypto, and I have all this stuff going on. These are all hypothetical situations, but you get the point. So many people just decided to make a community around it and just start teaching it. I don't want to see friends and family get wrecked. I don't want to see strangers get wrecked. Start learning so you can start trading better. This is not an area to take longs. You're still, sorry to babble, but ADHD kicking in, ooh shiny. But you went up 600% in a month. If you're going to try to find value in this thing, you need it to come back down a little bit. Stocks. Back in December, I was going over in another Discord how I think the SPY was pretty cooked and needed to come down a little bit. And it did. We had that sharp correction. Honestly, it's been fairly volatile. I was looking for our macro cup and handle target of 6,200 there. So we've been charting the SPY for many years. You can go back in Discord and look at our messages back in 2022, how we were looking at this cup and handle. So we were targeting about 6,000, 6,200. and we got it. We got it. And the market started looking really exhausted, and then we got the Trump inauguration pump. You know, we recaptured that resistance level. The SPY on the weekly is closing bullish engulfing. Let's see here, that is the fourth highest weekly candle close of all time. That's good stuff. The daily just kind of looks like a flag. Flagging. You know, one could argue that's a wedge. You know, maybe put this more like that. Yeah, that looks better. It's really gappy right there, though. You know, it would be really sweet to see some sort of like partial decline off of the demand line here. But ultimately, with Trump getting into office, I think the money printer is about to go burr. I would not be surprised if we break that cup and handle target level. Let's pull some fibs to have some dubious speculation here. So we already broke the 618 extension at 57.98, and we back tested it and just bullishly engulfed on it. So the textbook would tell you, if we are to continue, which the trend is your friend until it's not, which in this case the trend is very bullish. It's been nothing but up. Again, speculation. You're looking at $7,800 for the S&P 500, you know, maybe by mid-2026. Let's wait and see. Obviously, we'll take it day by day, week by week. We're going to take a look at BTC dominance real quick, too. Somebody was mentioning that. BTC dominance on the weekly. That is a bullish hammer. But if you guys recognize this pattern, these diamond patterns are very often reversals. Get rid of this to clean it up. Diamond patterns. Let me see if I can pull something up here for you guys. Yeah. So textbook example right here. You have a diamond pattern. It's a form of distribution. So if the textbook is correct, BTC dominance should do something like that from here. Go back down to 53%. So what it means when BTC falls and BTC dominance falls and then the price of BTC stays the same is alt will run. But if BTC is falling while BTC dominance is falling, then it can be bad. It's open to interpretation, just like everything else. You have to kind of judge the market. Delete all this. I mean, at this point, I'd really like to see BTC dominance go down. There's a lot of alts that are cooked. You know, obviously not. Some of them are still really high up there, but there are so many alts that are just cooked right now. They need some relief. A lot of them are down a ton of money almost instantaneously today. I'll take another peek at Trump real quick, just to see if that's changed, because this one's been interesting for me today. The swings truly have been something to watch, and this is almost impossible to interpret because you have overbought and oversold confirmations so close to each other. What are you supposed to do with that? You have long wicks down to the bottom indicating that people are buying this still at 4,000% off the lows. Not the smartest thing to do in my opinion. You know, you have one high here, a second high here with incredible, undeniable bearish divergence. Yeah. Let's get this thing, you know, I'm gonna just draw this right about here. I mean, would it be catastrophic? Yes, absolutely. Would it look good on the chart? Absolutely. Let's let's get Trump going back down 90%, back at $5 to actually make it make sense. Like we need some sort of structure on this. Don't go buy a Trump coin right now. UX Link. I started going over this at the beginning of the stream too, and then the ADHD kicked in. But we're back down at the 86 level here after a crab pattern. Let's get some sort of oversold or overbought confirmation down here. I would feel comfortable buying a little bit of UX Link right here. 90 cents. Let's think about this for a second. On Christmas, on freaking Christmas, it was $3.79. And now it's less than $1. You know, even if there wasn't a pattern here, one could perceive value at this price. It doesn't, and that's the thing about trading, is sometimes you don't have to be super smart to, you know, figure out where value is. Most of the time it's a mindset sort of thing. Like, let me put it in a simple sort of way. If you went to the store and a gallon of milk was $5, just I know it's not exactly $5 everywhere you go, but let's just say it's $5. And then there's an advertisement saying milk on sale for $1.50 a gallon. Same stuff. It's not expired. It's still good. Wouldn't you maybe consider picking up some extra milk that day when you went to the store because it's $1.50 a gallon instead of $5 a gallon? I mean, the same sort of thing goes with crypto, goes with stocks. You guys know what value is deep down. Also, when you get those sort of buys, don't get shaken out of your positions prematurely. Actually wait for a bona fide reversal. Don't just sell on the first red candle you see. Most of the time you'll sell and then it ends up running more, and then you're like, oh man, I missed out. And then you ended up buying it higher, and then you end up wasting your gains. Keep it cool. Stick to the plan. Let's look at Apple. One of the stocks. This is kind of like a forever hold for me. Verizon, Amazon, Apple, Boeing, all holders for me. Here's what's nice about Apple on the daily is we are at an area of value here. So if you wanted to, you know, start thinking about some fresh longs, you know, you're way off from the lows, or from the highs, I mean, and it's indicated that you have been in an oversold situation. You have a W shape on your HSI and your RSI. It has a little bit more work to do, but this is not a bad area to start picking up some Apple. Looking on the weekly. Yeah, looking on the weekly, like I said, we still have a little bit more work to do. Let's let's get the weekly just into this oversold area so we can reverse around, get a nice oversold confirmation on the chart on the weekly, which would probably happen somewhere between here and 215, so not much more drawdown here. Getting ready to scoop up some more Apple to hold on for the rest of my life. Verizon's the same sort of deal. It's getting to an area where you would start to consider buying some more, you know. What I would like to see is some sort of bottoming structure at target 1. We have this old HSI support from history at $35. Your target 1 for Verizon is $36. So pick up Verizon in the mid 30s and hold it. Thank me later. Like I said, during these bull markets, you see these bearish patterns. They hit target 1 and then they reverse, and then they usually fulfill the patterns that precede them. So at this point, once you hit target 1 of this chart, your next bet is about $54. So if we want to measure that, that's a 51% move, you know, potentially in the next year. And it's not even being moon boyish. That's target 1. You know, target 2 would be $60, which would be, you know, even more. It's almost an 80% gain. And you know, that's on Verizon. So that's why it's one of my buy and holds. It's a very pattern rich, very well respected on the harmonic patterns, and we have a massive shark and a massive crab from all the way back from 2018 to 2022 that we have yet to fulfill, and the chart wants it. Buying and holding Verizon. Let's look at Boeing. Boeing on the weekly. This one I like because you had that massive shark back from 2021. It hit target 1, came back for its type 2 return. This bat pattern has been fulfilled. Target 2 complete. Boeing anywhere between here and 137 is a buy for me. And then I'm looking at offloading back in the 300s. You know, casual 110% up from here. And that's just an 886 retrace. That's not busting all-time highs or anything. It's not out of this world to bank on getting a 786 or 886 retrace on an asset, especially one that's traded a lot. Like, take this for example, from 2016 to 2020. Not only did it come back to that low, but it fully round tripped. And that's what trading is all about, honestly. Like, imagine you buy Boeing in 2016. You put $1 million into Boeing at $100, and then COVID crash. You panic because your $1 million that you saw up at $2.5 million of Boeing is now back at entry at 1 million, and then you panic sell, and then you watch it ride again. Yeah, that's why you're here. That's why you're here. So you learn to not panic and stuff, and you learn when to enter and when to exit, and not ride down a whole bunch of your gains. So Boeing, anything under 150 is good value, and to hold it for a long time. Let's check to see anything else here. Trump coin back above 50. BTC staying above 100K. Let's talk about TIA Celestia. That's one I've been picking up pretty heavy lately, for good reason. Looking at the weekly, you can see that market participants do not want to give up that classic meme 420 level. You had your impulse right here, and then another higher low so far, not confirmed yet, but let's go ahead and confirm that this week. Yeah. Let's look at the daily. I know there's a lot of patterns here on the daily. Daily's looking really good. Really good for entries. Massive shark pattern. Massive. Target 1 of that shark pattern is $12.50. Target 2 is $19. One can expect after all this consolidation that it probably will end up hitting its target 2 eventually. We really want to see our RSI and HSI get above the 50 level though. We have a little bit of work to do. We have a good test here. As long as we don't take out, let's see, about 445. As long as we don't take out 445, we should just be continuing upwards. If not, we're probably going to go back to like the 430, 420 area to retest. But I am buying more. TIA under $5, good stuff. Yep. Yeah, TRB looks like it wants to just continue dumping on down into the 40s here. But that's another one that's been on my radar is TRB, just because it's what it's done in last cycles. The daily really does not look that good here. Neither does the weekly. That's breaking pretty bad, and your RSI and HSI are still pointing down and below the 50s. But you know, composite operator over the course of this week, he could run this thing and have a bullish engulfing and just run it. But the reason why I've collected this one is because it had that one run up to over 600. It's pretty liquid, and it can have these short squeezes that are just absolutely insane. Like it had one down here from $14 all the way up to $30, and then it had one here from 190 all the way up to 600. So you see people are buying it. You see there's a lot of volume here. You see that $40, $50 is a pretty well respected area for buyers. So that being said, TRB under $50, I'm buying it. I'm buying a lot of TRB under $50. Just like, speaking of under $50, just like that, Trump coin already back under. Let's go to the 15-minute here. Had a nice bat pattern. Hit target 1 at $52. What's crazy is if you want to get technical about this, if you want to hit target 2 on this bat pattern, the go-to move for a target 2 is to hit the hop level and then go to target 2. It may not look like much of a move right now, but that's you're at $47 right now, and you would go to $28, so you would lose almost half your value, and then you would go to $62. So you would lose 50% of your value, and then you would double your value. And this is on the 15-minute chart. So just buyer beware. Buyer beware. MicroStrategy, the guy wants to look at MicroStrategy. Mr. I heard a rumor that Trump coin surpassed Mr. in market cap briefly today. I guess I'll believe it when I see it though. Let's look at the daily. Nice gap up. I had a little bit of mister. I got in at the tier 1, target 1 down here when we retested it. The reason why I waited so long to get in is because I was waiting for the RSI and the HSI to get above the 50 levels. So, and it didn't really happen to my liking. We didn't complete that bad action magnet move until after, after September lows. So I got in about here, and then I ended up selling on the way up. I have not gotten back in, nor do I want to right here. We need some more data yet. Honestly, I'd like to see this gap filled a bit better. The 280 gap doesn't have to, right? If Bitcoin keeps going, obviously this is going to keep going. But you're creating gaps on the way up already. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back to 440 and roll back over. Your HSI is already in the overbought territory, and you're not even close. You're still, what I mean is you're still 26% down from the all-time high, yet you're overbought. That's divergence. That's, you got a big double top on your RSI right here, and then you're still way lower right here. I mean, yeah, it could keep just rocketing, but we'll see. It's hard to just bet on mooning, right? But money printer's about to go burr. Probably everything's gonna moon. Maybe. Can only speculate though. Everybody likes Doge. Dogecoin. The daily not looking great. Not looking great. That looks like distribution. That looks like major distribution. You came up here and perfectly tested that HSI resistance. Perfectly tested it. Wick, and then confirmation that you're overbought, and then down you go. Would be really healthy to see that wick fill. Doesn't have to happen, but it would be nice to see. What would be even better is if we come back down and test 20 cents. But that's probably not going to happen. Let's see here. Somebody wants to take a look at Pyth. Pyth on the daily. That's getting pretty close for an entry. That's getting ready. That is looking close to ready. Let's get our HSI to bounce off the 50 and give us a couple green candles so we can get our confirmation dot. And let's get our RSI pointing back up. But I would say anywhere between, anywhere between here and 28 cents. Fair game. Somewhere between here and 28 cents, and then have your stop loss at 26. Just to get your type 2 return, you're looking at going back to 63 cents. So at that point, if you were to if you were to measure your risk to reward, if you were to buy right here at 31 instead of waiting for 28, you would have a 17% downside with 103% upside. So that's a 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which you generally want to, I try to aim for a 4-to-1 or better. The book will tell you 3-to-1, but 4-to-1 to me is, it's just better, and there's plenty of them out there. We'll take a look at Tesla. Tesla's good stuff. Personally, I was waiting for 340. I was looking at the weekly here for this deep crab. I'm still waiting for 340 to buy any more. I've been buying over the years, but this is going to be one of those buy and hold forever type deals until proven otherwise. This is going to be one of those long-term holds, just like Apple, Verizon, Boeing, like I was going over earlier. Tesla on the weekly has a bullish engulfing candle. However, we couldn't get past the terminal bar line, the XA level, any of that. And that's what we need to see if we're going to actually do a pause or just a continuation on these patterns. But yeah, long story short, I'm waiting for some sort of oversold confirmation at 340 for Tesla. Will I get it? Nobody knows. Just gotta be patient. Gotta have no emotion about it. Gotta find the value. Even if it's an S coin, even total S coins like Mudang, the frickin' hippo, pygmy hippo thing from, I don't remember where, was it China or Japan or something? Talk about a round frickin' trip. Imagine buying the top at 70 cents and now you're back at 14 cents. After, you know, during Thanksgiving it was at 13 cents. Crypto is wild. And see, that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm trying to teach you guys and gals, you know, where to get in on this sort of stuff. And that's what's ironic is we're streaming right now at a time where arguably it would be okay to long this piece of crap. You know, does it have a use case? No. Does it have value at this price? Yeah. Yeah, it does. You know, you're at the lowest price this asset has seen in, let's measure it, 75 days. Lowest price in 75 days on Mudang. I'd say 13, 14 cents is a decent buy. You could even argue to put your stop loss at, like, you know, 12.7 cents. Very minimal loss. Very minimal loss. It sounds like one of my buys just hit. Let's see what hit. Gotta find out, you know, curious. Because I got that notification sound for my buys. It goes when buys hit. So let's see what we got. Oh, we bought our ace. Nice. Bought a little bit of ace. Let's go look at the ace chart and I'll show you guys why. Ace. The helpful place. So you remember where when I gave you guys that homework, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, where I said put your buy where most people would set your stop loss and see if it hits. And I'll show you an exact use case of that right now. This deep crab right here, let's go ahead and we'll magnet to this line here. Boom, right there. So that magnet line is at $1.75. On January 13th, you had this low here, and it was such a big wick that you figure, you know, you would have to revisit it at some point. And then most people are buying this and setting their stop loss, you know, below the candle body or whatever. So most people are setting their stop loss at $1.68. You know, and other people are setting their stop loss at the bottom of this candle at $1.58. So I put my buy at $1.58, where most people are going to set their stop, and then I get deep value buys. You know, it's already 25% down in 3 days, so I bought some. And looking left here, this is an area where buyers are constantly defending, and this would not be surprising if it was a false bearish breakdown. And it's easy to set a stop loss from here because there's nothing else to the left, so you can set a stop right under it. And at that point, you're looking for your type 2 return from this harmonic, this crab. Oops. Hold on. You know, so you're looking at going back to the hop level. That's 161% upside. For practically no downside. Yeah. There's one other one I was pretty interested in. Chill Guy. Chill Guy was starting to look interesting to me, just because it's so dang cheap right now. Of course, I want to see some sort of structure down here. Right now, we just have this this huge pin bar, which could be insanely bullish. But let's get some follow through here. One could argue this is a really good spot to start buying some Chill Guy, but it would be really good to see some sort of confirmation, you know, an impulse, and then buyers defending that level again. That would be what you really want to see. But definitely interesting at the 8-cent level, especially because it was, you know, 60 cents on Thanksgiving not very long ago. This thing was 60 cents and now it's 8 cents. Here's another one of my favorites right now, DYDX. I'm picking up some of this. You got your Gartley, one of the most OG harmonic patterns there is. You had your oversold confirmation dot, your shark pattern that preceded it hit its target too. So you got a lot of things going for this. Your action magnet move completed. You are retesting your 50 level at your HSI, on your HSI, and like I'm saying, I'm buying DYDX. Anything, you know, $1.10, $1.10. Aiming for target 2, up at $2.10. You know, almost 100% upside. Let's see here, what else? What else? Somebody said BTC price action. Let's take a look. We'll cruise on down to the 5 minutes, see what's really going on here. Huh. Looks like market participants are attempting to break 100K. Pretty tight. But you got, you know, lower highs into a level. It's never a great sign. Your RSI and HSI are below the 50. It's yeah, not looking fantastic. So let's get some buys in. You know, you had your bullish engulfing here, and buyers kind of defended it here. So one can argue this is the start of a double bottom. But let's finish it. I'd really like to see a breakout, a retest, and a go. I don't want to just sit here and watch it for a minute. I gotta ask too, if anybody's in the chat still listening, if there's any problems with the audio, please let me know. Like if the music is too loud, too quiet, if my voice is too loud or too quiet, is there background noise that's coming through? You know, let me know. Kettle says audio is solid. That's good. I spent a lot of time on this sound insulation behind me. I purposely set up a whole corner in my basement to start streaming for you guys. A whole nother desk, a whole nother computer, a whole nother setup altogether just to stream. So, you know, bless ya. But I ain't got nothing better to do with my time, you know. Not on a Sunday night. You know, I'm a family man, but that's really about it. I do real estate and crypto in my free time, which is a lot of it. A lot of free time. I had somebody talking about like what my investment plans are for the end of the crypto cycle, and for starters, it's kind of dubious to try to predict a all-time high at a certain calendar date. You know, at the end of the game, or at the end of the day, it's a game, is what I'm trying to say. You know, I can say, oh, BTC to 300K by October, but it doesn't mean anything. Whenever the top does happen, whenever the chart tells me that the top is happening, that's when I'll sell. That's when I'll sell. And I'll definitely be letting you guys know. I'll be streaming, I'll be in the Discord, I'll be telling you that I'm selling, buying, whatever. Just like I have today. I've told you what I'm buying. Told you what I have bought in the past. I plan on trying to provide as much value as I can to this stream, and as far as the plans for the crypto profits, it's all going to be going into real estate, and then the real estate cash flow is going to be funding the next bear market for crypto. currently invest a lot in Detroit. I do Section 8 rentals. A lot of people look at me sideways because they're like, oh, Detroit, oh, what a slum, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, there are bad parts of the big city just like anywhere else, but there are also good parts where you can invest and get some good cash flow and have, you know, gain some really good equity. Like I have a bunch of brick home multi-unit properties that I got cheap, like real cheap, and then, you know, hire a property management company to take care of them for me, and that's about that. And I get paid every month, and I pick up more units, and I buy more crypto, and then when the crypto pumps, I sell it and buy more real estate, and just keep doing it. And that's what I'm here to teach. Getting pretty close to breaking down there. I wonder if it's gonna do it. Zoom in a little bit more, just for fun. Any of you guys in the Discord, if you want to look at anything else, any other altcoins or shitcoins, whatever, just let me know. I know it says $20 requests above my head, but we're just gonna do it for the content right now. Oh, look at that. Buyers are trying to hold 100K. Oh, man. I swear this is better than what's on TV sometimes. Oh, 100K. Let's take a look at Crow. Matt Damon coin. My God, you remember that? Fortune favors the brave. And then everyone got rug pulled. That's crypto, baby. Kind of looks like you want to complete a bat pattern here. Last Sunday I was kind of going over, once you get an X and then A and then B, C, once price breaks the B point of the harmonic, then it starts to generate a pattern. You know, it's more than likely, there's about an 80% chance, you know, that this pattern wants to complete at this point, which, you know, it's another 20% down, 25% down, but for Crow, that's just not surprising. You had an insane move, just like everything else, 230%. Really like to see Crow back down at 9-10 cents before taking any sort of action on it. You would really want to see some sort of oversold confirmation. Your HSI and your RSI are still pointing straight down, so that's telling me that the asset still has some work to do as far as consolidation goes. If we go back to the 4 hour though, there's a massive Gartley on the 4 hour. Let's see if we can get that on a different time frame, a higher time frame. So it's there on the 6, let's try 8. The general rule of thumb with these harmonics is like the highest time frame you can get it on is going to be the most reliable. And I mean, that's just common sense. You know, the higher time frame candlestick means more. You know, it takes 24 hourly candles to make a daily candle. You know what I'm trying to say. But nice bullish engulfing right after the Gartley completed. That's nice. But we still have not gotten an oversold confirmation yet. Which ironically, the hop level of this 4-hour Gartley is right where that daily bat pattern wants to complete. That daily bat wanted to complete at like 9.5 cents, which is exactly the hop. So imagine you get some sort of like, you know, double bottom situation. You know, since your RSI is still pointing down, it's still got a little bit of work to do in my opinion, but it wouldn't be a bad area to start like dollar cost averaging into. Another thing is too, these W formations on RSI and HSI, they are almost always tested with like a 90% success rate of an impulse move by the indicator. What I mean by an impulse move, you know what, let me blow this up a little bit so we can actually see it, because I'm sure this is kind of hard to see if you're like on the phone or something. What I mean by complex W shape is something like this. That's a W shape. These complex W shapes are then tested with an impulse, a straight, some would call it a tweezer, V shape, you know, however you want to call it. I call it an impulse move. These complex W shapes and complex M shapes are tested with an impulse move, almost always. So what I'm looking for, what I'm trying to say, what I'm looking for here is, since we had this complex W shape, I am looking for an impulse. I want to see an impulse before I go long on the crow. I am willing to play the game of patience. I would rather miss out than buy crow and ride it down another 25-30%. That's just my thought process. Do I think crow's going a lot higher? Probably. You know, eventually, because it's been so heavily advertised, it's been so heavily put, you know, into the UFC and everything like that. Let's see, I got a small bag around 14 cents. Just curious how my next buy should be. I mean, yeah, honestly, like 14 cents in the long run is probably going to be fine. You're probably going to make a lot of money. The closer you can dollar cost average to 9 or 10 cents, the better. Will you get it? Who knows, right? Who knows? Let's play a game here. What's an 886? 8.1 cents. You know, just spitballing some numbers here. Let's say you had $1,000 worth of crow at 14 cents. If you were to buy $2,000 worth of crow at 8 cents, you know, all of a sudden your average would be close to 10 cents. Does it have to go to a 786 or an 886? No. Does it just go to a, you know, a 50 fib bounce and then rock it in a bull market all the time? Yeah, absolutely. Here's the problem though, it's just hard to find value at the 50 fib. It just is. I know a lot of people trade the 50s, but for me the 50s are meant for indicators, not for fibs. You know, if I'm going to be buying fib levels, I want 786, 886s. I want deep deep value. So just by going off the fibs, you got a lot lower to go, and it'd still be bullish. That's the thing. 8 cents is still a macro high or low. It's still going to be bullish. It's just going to suck if you're holding. It's going to really suck going from 14 cents to 8 cents holding. You know, that's what, 40% of your value. But yeah, that's a dollar cost averaging is a powerful thing. You know, if you have, again, just playing a numbers game with you guys, if you have 10 grand to invest, a really good rule of thumb for DCAing is to do a 1, 2, 3, 4 method of getting in. So you do 4 buys, each one subsequently bigger than the other one. So the first one's going to be 10% of your bag, so $1,000. Next one, 2,000. Next one, 3,000. Next one, 4,000. So the lower the price goes, the bigger your buy goes. And if all 4 of your buys end up hitting, not only are you close to the low, like the lowest low, but you're also in it pretty heavy. So that's the point of DCAing. Like it's to, you know, the deeper it goes, the more you have. But you got to be careful with it. You can't start DCAing when things are at, like, you know, still floating in outer space. Like this is a good area to start DCAing. Like 14, 12, 10, 8. Those are solid buy levels. And I hope I'm not coming off as like condescending or anything. I'm trying to give the best advice as I can and just try to be fun with it. But yeah, if I was not in Crow at all right now and I wanted to be in, setting your buys from here to 8 cents would be a go, in my opinion. You might get really lucky and catch an 8 cent scam wick. If not, oh well. Yeah, it'd be really sweet to get some value down at 10 cents. Give me an oversold confirmation. ETH. We haven't looked at ETH yet. I should have looked at ETH earlier. People are going crazy over this. So, I had this thought earlier today, and it was cracking me up. I shared it with the Discord. You know, people are complaining about ETH not moving, and I'm like, guys, what if we just relaunch ETH as a meme coin on Solana? It would take care of all of our problems. It would all the degens would pile right back into it, and it would create a new sense of FOMO, and then all of a sudden ETH would be banging again. I've been pretty disappointed with ETH this cycle. Yeah, it's been going up, but honestly, we should be above all-time highs by now. Bitcoin's been above its all-time high for how long, and ETH is still just lagging behind? Come on, let's go. That being said, looks like a pretty nice falling wedge here. Could it be the partial decline where we don't get to the supply line? Maybe. You know, let's give it a few days and see what happens. Obviously, you don't want to see it break 3 grand again, because odds are you're going to go fill that wick at 2,900, and then you'll be out of that formation, and then you might as well just say 2,700. But let's talk about 2,700 once we break this supply line. We won't talk about 2,700 until then. Honestly, back here, I was pretty certain that we were going to go to 2,700, but then we didn't. And we did. So, here's the thing though, your HSI just went below the 50 level, and your RSI is below the 50 level. You got an M shape here, and like I said before, usually those M shapes are tested with an impulse. So let's hope that your impulse gets you broken out of this supply line. What's interesting too is that that's also the macro 786 level, this blue line right here. And you can see how important this level is in history. Just price just respecting it like crazy. And it did it again. The scary part about ETH is what it did at that level. To be honest, like, it doesn't look great. You tested it, you fell back below it, you got back above it, only to break back below it with another bearish engulfing, and then you had follow through with massive volume. You better hope Trump sells some of his Trump coin and buys ETH like tonight. Save this thing. That's all I gotta say. Or fucking Melania coin, or Eric Trump coin, or Barron coin, or whatever coin. All the coins. So another one that's starting to find a deep level of value is rats. I don't know what this thing does. I don't know what it is. I don't really care. However, I do know it's trying to complete a deep crab. These deep crab patterns are powerful. Just, you know, measuring fibs here. They complete, so I got my fibs on log scale here. Let me change that. So deep crabs complete between the 1414 and the 1618 usually. And as you can see, we're getting there. These are extreme oversold areas of value, the 1414 and 1618 fib extensions. And here's the other thing that I like. I was talking to you guys about W shapes and M shapes. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but I'm just trying to teach you guys what to look for, or what I look for, to try to find a good entry and good value. You have your W shape, and this arguably is your impulse. So let's get RSI to turn back up so we can verify that it's an impulse. Let's complete our deep crab. We already have one oversold confirmation. Let's get another one once this pattern completes, and then let's test that HSI level. Let's get our indicators above 50, and let's rip. But as you can see, like let's just pretend it goes to the 1618. You know, back to all-time highs. That's 680%. You know, so you're at that point, you're looking at very little drawdown for a very huge markup, and beating a dead horse here. That's what we're looking for in this community, in this Discord, is areas of value. Areas of value. All right. Let's look at total. Total on the daily. I guarantee you every bear in the world right now is screaming double top, triple top, whatever. They're screaming top. Because man, does it look toppy. Not even gonna try to bullshit that one. It looks pretty toppy. You got your HSI and your RSI pointing down, but they're both still above the 50. Let's hope that market participants decide to turn this thing around dang near immediately, so we have a bounce off the 50 levels on the indicators, and that would imply bullish continuation. The bit of hopium that we have is we seem to be testing this area right there. So you have a very discernible high, you broke it, and then you regarded it as support, you broke through it, regarded it as resistance, broke through it, broke through it, and then you wick to it, regarding it as support again. So it's a very real level. 3.37 trillion is very real level. Let's go buyers, let's hold it. Come on everybody, FOMO into Trump coin. Turn total around. I'm just kidding, don't FOMO into Trump coin. That's what I'm trying not to teach. Don't listen to me. Trying to think of anything else before signing off here. Let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. We're right at the end of this. I'm gonna stay live for a little bit longer just to see how this resolves. I'm very curious. Very curious. Not gonna lie, I've been really enjoying this this techno going for the stream here. I tried like a deep house mix last Sunday. It was pretty good, but this is more like a I don't know. It's got me in one of them good moods. Be degenerate here and go down to the 1 minute just for fun. The respect on these lines is pretty incredible. Even on the 1 minute. Oh, it's trying to break out. Maybe, just kidding. 1 minute fake out. Who knows? This is a good educational moment, though. I mean, look at our indicators. They're right at the 50 level. Let's watch these on the 1 minute, break the 50, and go, and then we can watch how it affects these patterns together. And then you can realize how that sort of thing works on like the 4 hour and the daily, and you can see how significant these indicators are. You know what I mean? Amplified RSI is a very powerful indicator to me. There's no waiting around for that one. It is an instant indicator. It goes on that candle. Breaking out. Let's get the old hook and go. Like I said earlier, it's almost better than what's on TV, ain't it? It's hard to look away. Maybe I'm just too addicted to this crap. Macro target for SOL. I'll go over that real quick. Macro target for SOL. It bothers me sometimes. I'm scrolling through my list of crypto, and sometimes I forget like where shit is, and like my ABCs get all messed up. Macro target for SOL. So okay, real quick, real education moment here. You know how I was talking about waiting for Tesla at target 1? That's exactly what SOL did here. We had this huge deep crab, and it hit target 1 at 166. If you were in the Discord, I mentioned to you guys that I bought SOL at 168. And that buy was planned and targeted and executed. I still have not sold yet. On the weekly for SOL, let me try to get this in view here, but you had this cup and handle here, and the way that you measure a cup and handle is you take the measurement from the bottom of the cup to the cup line. So if your cup line is angled, obviously you're going to be in the middle of it. So at the very bottom of your cup to the top of the cup line, and then at the breakout, you're going to put that measurement right there. So realistically for now, your target is $400. And that's just from a cup and handle target. If you do fibs, it's kind of interesting how they line up. You know, your 1618 extension is 410, which, you know, that's pretty much confluence with that cup and handle target. With the way SOL is going, with how many people are buying SOL to you know, get Trump and all these other related political meme scam rub coin bullshit, get wrecked, Hawk Tua, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu coins. I don't know. That's the thing about SOL. You have to, most people have to buy SOL in order to get those crap scam coins. So I don't think it's really going to stop at the 1272 or the 1414. I think $400 is pretty likely this cycle. If things got absolutely, totally, ridiculously crazy, your 2618 extension for this bull market cycle would be $659. But let's take it one step at a time. That's all I gotta say. Let's take it one step at a time. Oh, yeah, let's go back to Bitcoin here. The guy says we're breaking up on BTC. And yeah, we broke out of that line, and back to the educational moment, you can see that the HSI and the RSI are above the 50 level, and you can see how price accelerates when that happens. It's a really good indication that market participants are strong on the buyer side. So the higher, I mean, it's hard to explain, right? Because if it's super high and it stays really high, then it's a form of exhaustion, right? But when you're on your way from 50 to 100, that's when the acceleration happens. Like you can see right here and right here is when the move from 50 to 100 started. which just happened to be on the retest. Boom. So those are your indicators in a nutshell, and that's what you want to see on the 4-hour and the daily time frames, because that's how you get on board these big swings. That's how you get on board the massive moves. That's how you get on board the 400-500% XRP, XLM, HBAR, algo moves that happened in November. Learn how to read the indicators. Stick around. Join the Discord. Tune into the live streams. Learn how to make money. And I gotta stress too, if you guys are trading and even if you get stopped out in profit, even if you get stopped out $1 in profit, consider that a win. The most major thing in trading, other than like psychology and the TA and being patient and all that, the number one rule is to not lose money. It's not to make money, it's to keep the gains that you've made, and then also be able to strategize in such a way where you don't lose a bunch of money on a trade if you're wrong. If you are wrong, make it a 1 to 5% loss, you know? And that's what we're going to teach here. That's what we're going to teach here for a long time. Lose small, win big. You know, while we're watching this, I want to say to any of you newcomers that see this, if you ever see somebody that is guaranteeing a trade system that doesn't fail, or a guaranteed way to never get rugged, or any sort of guaranteed way of trading, you know, it's just not true. It's snake oil. You don't fall for that stuff. There is no guaranteed way. Even when you know a lot and you have a lot of experience, and you draw all the right lines and you read your indicators just right, stuff can still fail. You know, I'm still wrong all the time. Yeah, I make a lot of good calls, but guess what? I'm wrong too. And anybody that claims to be right all the time is full of shit. Be careful in the crypto space with scams, fake pump and dumps, people telling you to buy shit you shouldn't, all that stuff. Indicator got another test on the 50. Let's see if it holds and keeps going. This is a really good indication. Like, if we end up closing below the 50 here on the indicators, we're probably going to come down and like test this angular or test this horizontal line here. But if we don't, then obviously we're probably going to continue back up to this HSI line at 101K. Let's go back to the 5-minute, see what happened there. HSI is above 50, RSI is almost above 50. Any more last minute requests from anybody before we get out of here? Just not realizing I was live for almost 2 hours there. That went by pretty quick. I guess the first 10 minutes though was a bunch of nothing, just waiting and getting it set up. But you know, I appreciate you guys coming out and watching and hanging out. a like and a subscribe goes a long way. Maybe share the video somewhere. Honestly, I just want to help people out. The main goal is to help people avoid getting wrecked. I know it sounds stupid or whatever, or like, you know, hey, why do you care? Well, because sometimes people put way more than they should into it, and it literally ruins their life. And I don't like seeing that. You know, you see and hear stories of people that put way too much in, and then all of a sudden they can't support their family anymore, or they have health issues and they try to make a bunch of money on crypto, and then they lose it all, and now they're dead and broke. You know, it's just, you hate to see it. That's why I'm here. Make a difference. Grow a community for the good. Like, share, subscribe. All that.